Morning, sir.
Uh, Good afternoon. Today's program. Welcome to all of you. So
Good
today,
afternoon, sir.
yeah. Hello. Uh, कैसे हैं आप लोग? You are fine. Everyone is okay.
Yes, sir.
All good, sir. All good.
Yes, sir.
Very
Yes,
good.
sir.
Very good. So today we have got the topics of marketing of training. I mean, as you know that when you are interested in conducting some training program, this may be possible in two ways, that either it is an organization which is going to conduct some training program. It is possible that you are a freelance trainer and you are trying to find out, you are trying to make some training program on your own. But whoever is conducting the training program, the most important thing is this: the first thing, that after deciding the training program, you have to invite people. Invite in the sense, people should be interested to join your program. Can you listen to me now? Is it okay? The sound is okay?
It's okay, sir. It's very fine. Fine.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so the important thing is that we have to invite people who should be interested, because if you are interested in doing some training program but there is no participant, then you will not get use of it. So the question is, mm, we have to seek for nominations from people. I mean, the people should join the program. But the moment you say that people should join the program, it is important to see that how you have marketed your program, in the sense that people should know that what is your program is all about, how they're concerned with that particular program, how they're going to get interest in that particular program. So you have to market your program to the people, to your prospective target group of people, so that people comes to know about the training program and they can subsequently join the training program. And if people joins the training program, your training program is likely to be a successful program. Furthermore, it's important that you should first seek nominations, and before nominations, you should market your program. And after that, when the people are interested to join and people joins the program, then you need to manage your entire training program, your training program, and we have seen the various steps in managing the training process. And in that process, you need to take cooperation of various people. You have to take cooperation and support from various departments in the organization, because you alone, being in the HR department or in the training department, cannot expect to do the things on your own always, because you need to have input from various departments. Their collaboration and the cooperation coordination is required. And so you need to take the support from other departments. So what kind of support do you need from other departments and all that? So we need to understand these few basic things to make your training program successful. How to get I mean, how to the process of nomination, which things you should look into it while getting the nomination. But before getting nomination, the important thing is that you have to market your product. So people should come to you, know your product. So how to do that marketing, right? And after, once you do the marketing and people joins the program, uh, you get the nomination, then you conduct the program. When you conduct the training program, then you need to take cooperation and support from other departments of your organization if you're in an organization. Even otherwise, if you're a freelance program, uh, freelance trainer, you need to take support from various people, right? So how to go about that? Which are the things which are important we've seen? That is what we are going to discuss. And I presume that you do not have any question from the last session. If you have got any question, you can always ask me. If you don't have any question, then we'll probably will go with our today's topics. Mm, so I give a break for 3 minutes to 3 seconds, 3 to 4 seconds. If you have got any question, you can ask. No question. Well, huh. So now let us go ahead. Let us try to see what is there in today's program, what we need to see, what we need to look about. Yeah. So first thing first, before you do that, seeking nominations, marketing of training. You see, when we take training as a product and you need to market it to the people, the first thing you need to understand that how this product is relevant to the customers. In our case, the customers are the employees, the trainees. So that means we need to first understand, you need to first see that how a training program affects employees. If you know that, if we can understand that aspect, how training program affects employees, we can play the strings accordingly and we can market our product accordingly to the people concerned, to the prospective target group of people. So we'll start with that, how training affects employees. Now, let me just share my presentation with you. Oh, I'm not getting anything. Mhm. Yeah, I'm sorry it took some time. Well, marketing of training, seeking nominations, obtaining cooperation and support from user departments. That's what it's all about. Now, I would like, as I told you, that I will first see that how training affects employees. That is the point which I want to discuss right now. There are 6 ways that training boosts employees' job performance and productivity. Now, why I'm talking about, how the training boosts the job performance and productivity of people. It depends upon that the people, how the people are affected by the training program. If it really increases their job performance and their productivity, it's going to affect their affect the employees by the training programs. So number one, it inspires new employees. It creates inspiration among the employees, right? Reason being that they understand and they also realize that productivity is gets increased, and they understand the business, they understand their job, and their expectations from for their growth also get satisfied, and they become more confident because of getting more knowledge and learning, they become more confident, and when they're confident, their productivity increases. And when the productivity increases, there is a sense of satisfaction amongst the employees. So it's created inspiration because they are satisfied from both the point. Number one, their performance is better. Number two, they understand that they're going to grow in their career, which is also beneficial for them. So it inspires new employees. That inspiration is there, therefore it affects employees. Number two, it reinvigorates the old skills. As you know, that training is a continuous process. Whatever is learned by the people today may become obsolete tomorrow. New things will come up, old things will go. And new ways and means of doing things will come up. And therefore, by getting training, it reinvigorates the old skills of the people, and that because of that they become more confident. It creates confidence among the people. That's an important, very important aspect. It gives employees new skills. Yes, it gives new skills to the people because it not only invigorates the old skills, it gives the employees the new skills. And getting new skills means it gives a new sense of purpose because they understand that now they are better equipped things, right? That they are getting more opportunities to grow in their life. They can advance in their life. They can grow in their life. The career becomes better. So that gives the employee new skills and a new satisfaction, new sense of purpose. And that's why it affects employees by the training program. It raises confidence level. Yes. See, if you don't give the training into the people for quite long time, they will remain, number one, they'll become stale, they'll become obsolete. Number three, they will lack in their the confidence level because they think that they are not up to date with their knowledge. It so when you add the knowledge through the training programs for the employees, it boosts the employees' confidence because the employees now start understanding that they are knowledgeable, and they get a there is a great sense of value and enthusiasm in them. They get a sense of value because they understand the subject, they get a better knowledge, and that gives them the enthusiasm for the job, being more confident. And obviously, when they are more confident, it translates into productivity, better productivity. Well, that's a very important issue. It raising the confidence levels among the people through the process of training program is a very highly required, desirable condition. It supports a performance-based culture. Well, performance-based culture means when you set some standard in front of the people that you are supposed to achieve these kinds of performance at the end of a particular period, which is expected from you. Now, if you say that, then we should also be able to give them the necessary training inputs so that they can develop themselves and they can do that performance. So when you talk of performance, when you expect performance from people, you should be able to give them the necessary training inputs also. So that inspires and motivates employees by giving them the attainable goals. They can attain it because they are now trained, right? So without training, without knowledge, they cannot attain their goals. So that means what? It's very important that we should give that, create that performance-based culture by giving them necessary training so they can achieve their goals easily. I mean, by learning and practicing those things which they learn from the training program, right? So that's a very important aspect. It supports a performance-based culture. It boosts employee satisfaction. As I told you earlier, that it is satisfaction comes from various ways. Number one, it gives them the sense of confidence. It gives them a sense of satisfaction that they know the subject, and it gives them satisfaction because they are now can perform better. They can achieve their goal. So they are. It is going to augment their career. I mean, advance their career. So in all ways, in all respects, the employee gets satisfaction, and for any productive workplace, any production to take place anywhere, it is necessary, utmost necessary, that the concerned people and the concerned employees must have satisfaction in their workplace. If you don't have satisfaction in the workplace, they cannot give better productivity. And satisfied, and when an employee becomes satisfied, when they know that whatever they're going to do in their work, they have got necessary knowledge, skill, and attitude in that process. So it boosts employee satisfaction. So we have seen these are the few ways that you have seen. It inspires new employees. It reinvigorates the old skills. I mean, the new skills, the old skills are replaced by the new skills. It gives further new skills to the employee. It raises the confidence level of people. It supports a performance-based culture. When you create a culture, you set a standard. At the same time, we give them the necessary training input so that they can achieve those standards of performance which is expected from them. It boosts employee satisfaction, right? So these are the important reasons because of which the people are affected by that training program. Now, when we understand this, then our next work is that we need to identify our audience. And we should be able to relate all these things what we have talked so far with our respective audience. We have to identify audience so that we can nominate them for the training program. We can market our product to them, and then we can nominate them. So identification of the audience. Let us try to see now few of the things which are important in respect of the identification of the employees and identification of the audience. Well, the number one audience which can possibly be, because when you know the target group, we know their specification and the characteristics. Accordingly, you can prepare a training program, and accordingly you can market your product because you know their needs, you know their necessities, you know their expectations, right? You know their psychology, right? And so accordingly you can market your training program to them. So when you say that identifying the audience, the number one audience is the executives. Let us try from there. Let's start from there, right? Now, when you say the executives, now what they're interested in, what kind of training program they are interested in? Yes, they are interested in learning about strategic thinking. As you know, in any organization, there are different levels: the strategic level, right? The tactical level and the operational level. The strategic level are the top management where strategies are made. The tactical level are the mid-level management who are gets the work done from below under the instruction of the top level management. And then there is operational level where the actual operation takes place. So at all these levels, the performance is different. I mean, the the role is different. So accordingly, they have got expectations, and the executives who are the top level, they are more concerned with making the strategic decisions in the organization. Now, when you talk of that strategic making strategic taking the strategic decisions in the organization, they must know and they are more interested in learning how to make that strategic thinking, how to set a goal. Uh, so the things if you can jot down, they're interested in learning about strategic thinking, the goal setting, the leadership skills, the change management, how to drive business results, and more. The strategic thinking, that is the environment, according to the environment, how they should think, how they should make their planning according to the changing environment. That is the strategic thinking. They'll be interested in that. Depending upon the environment, how they should set their goal, how they should look into their constants, how they should use their opportunities and threats, and accordingly they can set their goal. What is expected from the people in the organization, from the leaders? What kind of leadership skills are needed to be developed in the organization so that the goal can be achieved? How to manage the change management. It's a very important issue, very important thing for the executives, the strategic level people, because the change is the most um, I mean the necessary thing, the most inevitable thing in the environment. That is always going to happen, and if there's change, then people should be able to manage that, right? How to create the driving the business results. Well, achieving the business results is very important. So how to drive that and more. These are the things which an executives are supposed to know. So if your training program has got these elements in your training program, then you will be in a better position to market that particular training program to your executives. Otherwise, not. Well, coming to the next level, the managers and supervisors. They are involved in day-to-day operations, as I told you. Managers and supervisors, and yeah, responsible for performance. They get the work done through the people below. They're responsible for performance and productivity, setting goals, ensuring adherence to the company policies, improve their management and leadership skills by focusing on team building, ethics, coaching and counseling, time management, delegation, and so on. So they are more involved in the day-to-day operation. They are responsible for performance and productivity. They are supposed to create that productivity as per the directions given by the people at the top management. They need to set their own goals. They need to set the goals of the people below, working below them. They are supposed to focus to adhere to the company's policies. Because whatever they expect from the other people to do, they always guide them and instruct them to do the things as per the company policy. They cannot go beyond that. Should not go beyond that. They are they are also more concerned with managing their time. Management and leadership they should be able to improve their management and leadership skills. They are more concerned with knowing what are the management skills that are important for them to acquire and what are the leadership skills they're supposed to acquire so that they can really manage their people better towards achievement of the goals and objectives which they have got. So they may know what are the management skills, what are the leadership skills, what are the team building skills, what is ethics, what is expected from them, then I think how to coach people, how to counsel people, how to manage the time, how to delegate the works to the other people, and so on. As you understand, these are all directly related, directly concerned with the performance and productivity of the organization. So if your training program has got these kinds of elements, obviously this will you can sell this product, you can market these products to the manager and supervisor. They will be immediately interested in to learning this attending these kinds of training program because they know they realize that they are going to benefit it by this kind of program. Well, now when you say identifying the audience, once you have seen the level wise, but then similarly, as we have seen in case of the managers, you can also talk of the people working at the lowest level, those who are actually, I mean, day-to-day working, who are doing it on the machines, right? Like the clerical cadre or the workmen, they're working in the organization. So they require certain skills to do their work. And now, if you give them the skills, create a training program which can give them those kinds of skills, they can perform their work better. They'll be more interested. Now we can classify your audience even depending upon the department concerned where they work. So depending upon the different kinds of department, they may have got different. They are working in. They may have different kinds of requirements. So, for example, if you see that human resources department, they have got a specific requirement in which they will be more interested to learn about. They're not much interested. Maybe they learn IT, but they are more interested in learning about hiring and recruitment and the best practices. What are the practices involved in hiring and recruitment? What are the legal matters related to the employees, right? So the labor laws, what are the things that is at present that which are in the country, which they should follow. How to manage the conflict in the organization, how to manage it, the regulatory compliance of the government, the regulations, right? How to manage the diversity in the organization. There are different kinds of people, different backgrounds, different qualifications, and different experiences, different expectations, right? How they should manage with the diversity. How should they should keep people, the employee, engaged in the organization to get best out of them, to develop them, and to get best out of them. and data storage. Data, I mean, sorry, the employee engagement and performance appraisals. The appraisal, how to make the performance appraisal of the employees. So if you are talking about the human resource department, these relevant areas will be more important and they'll be interested in that. Similarly, when you talk of the IT professionals, there is another set of need. They are more interested in keep up with the technological advances. They might be interested in IT topics like cloud computing. What is that? IT security. What is the IT security? What are the desktop applications? What are the web development, data storage, and all that. Obviously, you can understand these are the IT professionals. They'll be more interested in this kinds of training programs. When you talk of sales professionals, they're interested in learning about the problem solving. Are there difficult customer? How to handle it? The customer poses a question to you. He comes in a very awkward situation. How to handle that situation? Customer becomes angry. How to handle that situation? How to negotiate with customer? Negotiation skills. The people will they will face people of different types, different psychology, different background, different expectation. So they have to talk with them and to negotiate it. The customer service, how they can give better customer service. They should know about the new things which is in the market, how to give better customer service, what are the new expectations of the customers into this today's time, how to create more professionalism in their approach while dealing with the sales activity with the customers, how to present. They should know that how to present their skills to the people, the presentation skills, how to improve that, how to make it better, what are the business ethics they should follow. So these are all very highly important, relevant for the sales professionals to know. The problem solving, negotiation skill, customer service, professionalism, presentation, business ethics, and so on. Many other things. I mean, the point here is that these are the things. If you are including in your training program, they'll be more interested in joining your training program. And then you coming to the marketing profession. There is a marketing profession. What they'll be interested in? They'll be interested in to learn about marketing, the best practices in the marketing. What are the pricing strategies they should make? On what basis? What are the things they should make in the pricing strategy that you look for in making the pricing, right? Uh, what are the media? I mean, that they can use for propagating their marketing activity, the social media. They should know about the branding, how to make branding, how to create branding, and what are the ways and means by which they can do that. That branding is there. Event planning, how they should plan their event. If they are going to make an event, the marketing event for the people, how they should do it, how they should make their advertisement, so and so on. So you can understand that marketing professionals will be interested in this kinds of training program. The individual contributors, there'll be mm, it may be the we may not attribute to any particular department or a group or a level of people. So there are various areas that people wants to develop their own personal qualities and for their career development. So there are various different topics may be there depending upon the various focus areas. The training resource and business essential topics such as personal and career development is something very important, which is true for everyone, for any category. The personal career development, right? The personality development, right? Managing yourself, self-awareness and development, like this, managing stress and all that. The performance excellence or decision-making capacity. This again is a individual need. The more audience can be added based on the structure and department needs. So it is the department concern, the subject matter concern, the level concern, the individual needs. Depending upon all these kinds of things, there are various kinds of audience, and you should make your training program accordingly so that you can get you can cater to the needs of the different kinds of people, and then you can market your training program say, accordingly to those kinds of people. Now we are it has been divided in such a way that today I have to come here at the end of this first half and for any question. But nothing, no issue. We have seen basically two things we've seen: how training affects employees, right? How training affects employees. It inspires new employees. It reinvigorates old skills. It gives employees new skills. It raises the confidence level of people. It supports a performance-based culture. It boosts employee satisfaction. And if you know what are the needs of the employees, we can market our product, market our training program better to the customers. And then you have seen that if you really want to do something, you have to first identify our target group, or identify the audience. So the audience may be the executives, they may be managers and supervisors, depending upon the department concerned. It may be human resource department, people will have different requirement. IT professionals will have different requirements. Sales professionals will have entirely different requirements. Similarly, marketing professionals or people with individual needs may have different needs. So you have to identify the audience for whom the training program is being kept. So if you have got any question before that, till now, you are most welcome to ask me. Ah, something should be there. Something you can ask me.
Sir, so far it was like, okay,
Hmm.
we have to identify and there are things. But sir, is there any, like, as we have studied in previous topics also, is there any pre-structured model which we can follow while doing this marketing of training? Is there any formed by anyone? Some
Uh,
golden rules or something?
you see, in general, the general models are followed. There is no specific model for this. There is no specific model for this. As you see, the training needs that you have seen earlier, that itself, the training needs model that you have followed, that itself can be followed. Training needs of different people, right? Even the ADDIE model can help us a lot in this direction, right?
So here in marketing,
No, ADDIE model for the training needs. That's what I'm saying.
that's right. But sir, I was asking for marketing. Are there
Marketing,
some any
I will
golden
see.
rules that should
I
be
will
like?
see that we will be talking about. We are yet to talk about the marketing. We'll be talking about that in the later session, right? Then I can talk about that.
Yes.
But right now we're talking about what, that we're trying to connect the needs of people and understand the needs of people, so that we can market our product accordingly. Try to understand my point. What I'm trying to
Yes,
heading
yes,
like this.
yes. Right.
Heading like this, that if yes we want to nominate people, we must know whom we are going to nominate. And if we are going to nominate some people, we must know how we are going to market to them. But the moment we say that we are going to market this product, these training programs to them, we must know what are the needs. So when you say that needs,
Yes, sir.
that
So
needs
actually, I asked the question because already, I guess the first step has begun by saying that we need to identify the audience. I guess this is the first step already we have begun with.
yeah,
Don't you feel so? So
identifying the audience.
yeah.
Obviously,
So I
for
guess obviously. So this is, if I feel so, then this should be like uh, a part of something or a cycle or a model. That's why I asked. So
okay, okay. Then I understand your point. I'll come to that. I'll come to that. Right?
oh, okay, sir.
Uh, if not there, then I'll add it to you. No, no issue. So this is one issue. Ah, yes. Anybody else? Anybody has got any other thing to share? If not discuss, if not question. Rather, sharing always help us to. As she has said something important. Yes. Can you have some model? We'll see to that. If I can suggest, I'll suggest you. Anybody has got any other issue, anything to share, anything to discuss, anything to question? Ah, I'm expecting one more question at least. No, things are fairly simple. There is nothing to ask. There's nothing to question. Eh? Well, should I go ahead then? Yeah, I think I should go ahead now. If you don't have any other question to ask me. Well, now when we talk of the next step, that we have to first now establish our program goals. I mean, what are the goals of the goals of the training program, right? So the moment you say that we are going to market our training program, You must know what is the goals from the training program, what you are going to achieve from the training program. So the marketing strategy will stem from our program goals. What is our program? What do you want to achieve? Achieve from that. What kind of training needs you are going to satisfy for the employees and what we are expecting from the employees from the training. So you need to make sure, this is important, you need to make sure that our program and the organizational needs goals are aligned with each other. That is, we should be able to cater to the needs of the organizational goal. So that should the training program should satisfy the organizational goals. That you always understand that at the beginning, and accordingly, your marketing strategy will step up from that. What are the strategic and business objectives if you want to accomplish from the training program? The strategic and business objective, that's what you're going to achieve from the training program. What goals you're going to achieve in terms of uh, performance, in terms of financial, I mean, addition to the company. What goals you're going to achieve through your strategic objectives in terms of your meeting the competitors and facing the new challenges, facing the new directives, new government directives, or any other new threats in the environment, how we are going to get benefited on all these things. And then what success criteria have you set for your program? What success criteria you have set for a program? Means if you want to think about any program, you must should be able to first also identify that what you are going to achieve, and that should be definitely identify that what is the criteria that will let us know, that will tell us that this is our success. That will identify. So without any clear goal, if you don't have any success criteria, if you don't have any definite clear goal, you will not be able to make a marketing plan accordingly. The marketing plan, because you have to put our efforts accordingly, right? In fact, the first step to market our training program should be to set specific training goals. What we are going to achieve. What specific training goals you are going to achieve, that is connected to the trainees also. So we can elaborate on this point that this kind of training program is going to make them benefited in this way for themselves, and this is also going to benefit the organization this way. So establishing the training goals is the program goals is a prerequisite for thinking about that the marketing plan, or making the marketing plan, making your marketing strategy, right? So the things that we have seen here is that our marketing strategy will stem from our program goals. So you have to definitely define what is our program goal, and our program and organized program goal and organization goal should be aligned with each other. We must first identify what are the objectives, strategic objective, the business objectives. That is what you're going to accomplish from this goal. What is our success criteria? What we are really going to achieve from this program, and identify that as a success. So without having clarity about that, we cannot make a proper marketing plan. So we have to set our specific training goals. Now, when you say setting the specific training goals, then of course the important things comes that how do you measure that? What are the metrics to measure your success? It's not merely saying something subjectively, but how can you objectively define that what is need to be done? Uh, for that, you must know what success looks like for your program. I mean, if the program, whatever program we are doing, at the end of the day, how the people are going to perform, how the people are going to change in their attitude, how the people are going to get change in their skills, the skill level. I mean, these are the things which will ultimately identify or will tell us that this is a success or failure. So that should be identified that what is we are expecting from the trainees after the training program very specifically. Again, I'm telling you that why I'm talking about this in the marketing, because this is what, if they can develop such things within them, you can also market that thing to the people that after going doing getting into this kind of training program, you are going to develop your such and such qualities and capabilities or skills within yourself. So, and that will become a success for the organization as well as a success for the individual. Uh, is it increased usage and awareness? Well, if that training program is going to increase your usage in your work area, or it is only giving you the awareness about it, what are the things and in what way it is going to really affect your productivity or your uh, work behavior. Maybe it's a measurable increase in positive customer reviews for a customer service team. Well, that sometimes we can really measure the effectiveness of a training program or the result of a training program in terms of how the customers are being affected by the productivity or the performance of any of a particular person sitting in a particular place, right? If the customer's feedback is better, if the customer satisfaction is better, which has been quantified and been demonstrated by his feedback, by their feedback, and by their expressions, that can really tell us, yes, this particular training program has been successful because the people who have gone through this training have been able to influence the customers in such a way that customers are giving a better feedback. So, if there is a measurable increase in that, well, after the training program and before the training program, what is the difference? What is the difference between the two? And by seeing that, by analyzing those things, analyzing the customer reviews, we can, and on the behavior, on the performance of the customer service teams, people. The customer service teams, they are really a very important thing for any organization. They are really going to give a lot of things to the organization in such a way that the customers are the most important, as you know. And if by their behavior, by their performance, they can influence the customers are going to remain in the organization, and that's a very important thing. But we should be able to measure that. Only by lip service and talking about customers and nothing is going to help. We should be at the end of the day be able to get the performance, the review of the customers in such a way that customers become enthusiastic to talk about us, and you get a better result. So in such a way, there may be various metrics for measuring the success. We'll see some of the metrics and then we'll talk about other things. So that is important that you can understand by this that whether customers are being satisfied and the training program has been, effective or not. Next, whatever the metrics you want to use, establish them upfront and commit to measuring them, right? Whatever the metrics we want to use, establish them up. If you have to establish that, you have to say it clearly, define it to the trainees also and to yourselves also, to ourselves also. This is what we're going to achieve in terms of this. We want customer reviews 50% better, 90% better, 80% better. What kind of thing? What do you want? That has to be established. And you have to measure that properly. And that measurement has to be properly identified, not only properly identified, that must be properly circulated and told to the people concerned who are going to practice that or going to do that. So they can understand what level they are and how they can change themselves so that they can achieve the better way. That metrics is to be defined, right? The important thing here is that I'm connecting to that marketing, that keep in mind that the marketing material you send out to employees should reflect the goals you need to meet. Another, as I was telling you earlier, why metrics? Metrics are going to define what is expected from the people, and if at all that expectation comes true, what they're really going to achieve, then you will say, yes, they have really achieved something. we should be able to find out and define something tangibly, so that on the basis of that we can determine our success of the training program. Now, why is this? As I told you earlier, if you know what you're going to achieve from this, if you know that this training program, I mean, what you know, if you know that we should be achieving this thing, then we will make our training program accordingly so that we can achieve such things from the training program. And consequently, we'll be able to market those things to the prospective target group of people that undergoing this kind of training program, following these training programs here, you are going to achieve such and such thing, learn such and such things, and in these ways, you are going to develop yourself, making yourself better relevance with the organization and also developing your career. So we can market those things. And that's why the market material that we send to the employees should reflect such goals that you need to meet. I mean, we will tell in a simple way that by attending this training program, you are likely to get such and such experiences, knowledge, change in your attitude, and that is what is expected from you. You should be able to do that. This is what we expect, and this is what you expect from the training program. And those things have to be sent to the employees. So employees can very well know and understand that if I'm going to attend this training program, at the end of the training program, this is what I'm going to achieve, and this is what is expected from me by the organization. And that is definitely the metrics. This is what is expected in tangible forms. In tangible, this is what is expected from you. So we're looking for this customer reviews, for example. You'll want to market training material that focus on improving customer service skills, obviously. As I was telling you earlier, that our marketing efforts will be based on the fact that what we are going to achieve from the training program, and in what way we will be in a position to influence or cater to the needs or the change the employees of the organization in concrete terms, in in which can be measured tangibly, right? So if you're talking about the customer service people, you want to give them training, you want that they should be interested in the training program which relates to their customer service, right? Then we have to say, concretely define that after attending to this kinds of training program, what kind of customer review that you're expecting from the performance that you give to the customers. On the other end, we will tell them that by attending this kinds of training program, you are going to be developed in such and such ways, and you will get such and such skills so that you can get a better customer reviews. And this is what is expected from you. You can understand that these are the matrices which you have to define objectively, which can be achieved tangibly from the employees, from the trainees. And that is to define, and those are to be included in our marketing material. So that by reading those, they'll be interested in going for the training because they know that this is going to affect them. This is going to affect them. They're going to affect the organization also, but they'll be more interested in how they are going to be affected by this. This is going to affect their performance, their satisfaction, their confidence level, their career, right? So these are the things and also these are the things which are expected from you. So this is an important matter, that is determine these and to incorporate these in the marketing material. Now comes the next level, the next step. Next step is what? Creating a marketing strategy and action plan. Now we have seen that what is expected from what will be the expectations from the trainees, what goals that you're going to achieve, what kind of change they are going to expect from them, and how in tangible terms, In tangible metrics, you're going to define those things, right? Now, we need to make a marketing strategy and an action plan. Action plan will flow from the strategy that we make. So the first thing will be keep the goal in mind. Keep the goal in mind and let those guide you through the design, obviously. It is the goal that will guide us always through designing the things and then planning the things and then executing that marketing process and to communicate to the people, right? So that keeping in view the goals that you have seen already earlier, it should help us to design, plan, execute it, execute our marketing activities, and to communicate the things and strategy to the people. Once you've identified the tactics you want to use, you will need to determine certain things. So, for any strategy to be implemented, to identify the tactic, the process, the procedure that you're going to adopt, right? And for identifying those tactics, the tactical methods that you're going to take, steps that you're going to take, you have to determine certain things, right? For any, now we're talking about the marketing strategy, remember it. Now we're talking about not the business strategy, but we're talking about the marketing strategy. Definitely, a marketing strategy evolved out of the business strategy. But right now, we're talking about the marketing strategy. So the first thing will be, what is the purpose of this particular strategy? Now, when we take any marketing activity, that particular thing that you're doing, any tactics that you're using, maybe for informing people, informing about the product that they do not know. Maybe it's a first time product or a product which they have forgotten, which you want to introduce to them. So, is that marketing activity, I mean, aiming towards making them informed, or we are going to remind them for a product which they have forgotten? So, it may be information, it may be reminding them about it, it may be an instruction to them. That depends upon what kind of, who is your customer, who is your target group. It may be an instruction to the trainees of the employees in organization, that you're instructing them that they're supposed to know such and such things at the end of the training program, and they should show these kinds of proficiency. It may be creating for the buying in, it may be increasing the awareness, it may be improving in the participation. So that marketing activity should be able to do something. Then that purpose should be very clear to us. Whether it's inform, to remind, to instruct, to make the buy-in, or increase the awareness about the product, or improving participation in the process. What is the process? Then the next thing will be the method of implementing the marketing strategy, the implementing the marketing process. What medium will you use to communicate? Now, since we have to communicate to the people, we have to market it to the people. What medium will you use? Now you see, it's a very important process. When you talk to the organization, it may seem to be comparatively simple, but even that is not simple. Then how you have to reach to the people, reach to the people, to the employees in such a way that they all of them comes to know about the target group of people should know about this. You can send an email to them, you can send an official circular, internal circular to them, right? So, and it is not only so, if you are conducting your own training program, then there are a number of ways by which you can reach them. It may be your social media, it may be email, and all that, and through which you are going to reach them. What method are you going to use? Are you going to use the newsletters? Are you going to use the flyers? Are you going to use the posters? Are you going to use the web pages? Are you going to use the internet banners or email or some presentations through WhatsApp? What are the ways and means by which you are going to communicate? Very important process. It's a very important process. The reason being that the these are the ways by which you're reaching people, and you have to work upon that. right? Right? You have to work upon that. And depending upon the target group, depending upon the target group of people, depending on the type of employees, what is their engagement, where they are most of the time engaged. According to that, you may have to vary the method of communication. When you say that email and when you say WhatsApp, there are two different things. There are different kind of people who are more interested in the emails, likely to be engaged, more engaged in the emails than the WhatsApp. And there is a group, they are more interested in the WhatsApp. They may very casual and sometimes go today to the email. Now, either the days of email has also gone. Now people are more, they will be more present in the WhatsApp group. So to see that what kind of group you're talking about and what will be the better method of communicating to them, which method you should use, and that's going to really become create some become successful. That's going to be successful. Time frame. When you say that marketing and when you say the marketing communication, and that is important because that marketing communication is a timely activity. If you are going to conduct a training program on a particular day, you have to accomplish all your marketing activity. Before that, you have to nominate people also. So it has to be within a time frame. Suppose you are going to do a training program, conduct a training for the middle of the next month. So you have to keep enough time for nomination for a few days, for a week, or so at least for 10 days. And before that, you have to send your marketing material so people become influenced by it, people become convinced by it, and people start showing their interest and they start registering for the programs and all that. And if it is an organization, if there is nothing like registration, it is the direction given. But then for that also, you have to communicate to the people, communicate to the respective departments for allocating people and selecting people who are going to achieve, conduct the training program, are going to attend the training programs and all that. So it will take some time. It has to become create a schedule for every tactics that you're going to use, right? How you're going to issue the letters, what media you're going to use, and how many days will take to inform people, then what you're expecting from them to come back, and then we are going to nominate them. All these kinds of things are very, very important. So it may be a monthly activity, it may be quarterly, it may be pre-launch, etc. How many are doing a training program? You may have in your organization, you may have something like every month that you're going to conduct such and such training programs, and everyone knows about it. It is pre-circulate. Similarly, if these are the quarterly programs that you are going to conduct every year uh, in the organization, that everyone knows about it. That's important. And maybe there is some program which are off the shelf. I mean, it is not already pre-decided, but sometimes you do that kind of program. A new program is coming, and so for that you have to make some pre-launch activities so that people should come to know about that, and accordingly they can attend the training programs. That's important, right? So, creating a marketing strategy and then an action plan will first know that what is the purpose of the marketing, what is the method that you're going to use for communicating with people, what is the time frame within which you have to accomplish things. Next thing is sustain your efforts. Marketing is a continuous activity, it's not a one time program. And those who are successfully patient in doing that, they only become successful. It's not in one time affair, remember it. It's a continuous activity and you have to keep on with it. Right. Once you have launched your marketing plan, you'll need to ensure that strategy is effective and that you're actually increasing the utilization of training. Okay. Now, see, when you're doing a training program, obviously, as you know, that we are interested in getting benefited by the training program, and people are increasingly utilize the training program for developing themselves. So obviously, it's required to understand that by the training program that you're conducting, what are the objectives that are being met later on that you have to, I mean, if you are going to achieve your objective, then you'll be more motivated to sustain your efforts towards that. If not so, then what are the things that's going wrong and you can change it. So are your objectives being met? You have to ask yourself, right? Hmm. Were the tactics appropriate for your culture? I mean, this is something you have to think also, that you know that the trainees are subjected to a particular organization culture in which they are habituated. They belong to a particular culture. So the ways and means for doing the training program, I mean, the venue of the training program, the methods of the training program, and the things that you're using in the training program, this is suitable for your employees, because are you there? They're really habituated in that, and they'll be appreciative of that. And of course, as I told you, have you seen an improvement in the skills? That is important to be seen. That what kind of improvement has been achieved, right? Uh, Yes, marketing effort, is a continuous activity, and sometimes you become overwhelmed with that. But then at the same time, I must say that don't forget to have fun, keep it fresh, and try new tactics. I mean, you apply one tactics, you apply one target group, apply one, method that you use, one media that you use, change it, shuffle it, and that will create better things and a better understanding. Innovativeness also will come, and it will become more interesting, and people will become more interested to see that also. I mean, rather than seeing the same boring media that you're using for the people, it's better to change sometimes, and so that uh, you can create some spark, some kind of change in the behavior of the people. They should say, yes, something new has come, something different has come, something this let me try this program. This is not as usual as you see every time. These are some things which are really jolts the people, and that change is expected. In the marketing efforts, in such an effort, you never know what's going to click at what point of time. Maybe the image that you're giving, that is going to click to the people. Maybe the method that you're going to use, that is going to click to the people, and they're going to attend the training program. They'll become more interested in the training program. So you see that what clicks to them, and for that you have to keep on innovating things, and you have to reshuffling the things. So for that, I must think about certain things. When we were talking of marketing activity, how should I promote my training? Think about it. If you're in the organization, you have to think about the training program that you're conducting. You are it is expected that you get a success from your training program. That is also connected to your success. Similarly, if you are a trainer, a freelance trainer, you are conducting a training program, you must think, how should I train? How should I promote my training? You have to think about it, innovate about it. So the first question is, how would they come if they don't know it exists? So the the most important thing is to let them know that you are doing this training program. You may have many kind of thoughts and thinking in your mind. These training programs I can do, I want to do, I will do, but unless you communicate to the people that such and such training program exists, which we're interested to do, and such training program exists, you have to create an awareness about that training program, how that is going to be relevant to them, right? You can never think that people, I mean, even without being communicated with them, people will come to you. People never knew about it. People do not know about the training program. They do not know, even if they have heard about the training program, they do not know about the content of the training program. They're not aware of the importance of the training program. They're not aware about the efficacy of the training program. And they don't have time to do so. They're busy, right? So they have got many things to be done. They have got various priorities. So they are not thinking about your training program. People may have certain needs, but you have to pinpoint to them that these are the needs that you are facing. but you are not taking care of that. You have to pinpoint to that. You have to harp on them. So the first thing is creating awareness amongst people that you are losing certain such things, and these are your problems which you are not looking into, and this is a training program which is really going to help you in achieving that, right? You need to create that awareness. That is the first and most important thing. That will make them start thinking about it, right? Okay, so you have to just help them doing that process. You have to just help them to start thinking about that learning process which may going to happen on attending the training program. From the busy schedule, you are going to help them. So creating that awareness first is the most important thing. Second thing, why would they invest the time if they don't understand the value? You are thinking that a training program is very, very good. Everyone should do it. You are thinking from your point of view. When you see, look from the other's point of view, the people who are going to attend the training program, what they will see, they will just try to find the value in the training program. And they'll try to equate that value they are going to achieve vis-a-vis the money that you're going to spend in the training program. If it is a training program being conducted by you, they will see that what is that value, that money or the time they're going to use. And within an organization, if you are inviting people, they will see what is the value that I'm going to get vis-a-vis the time that you will waste in, I mean, the time that we use in attending such training programs. Because otherwise, I could have used this time in a better way somewhere. So, in other words, it means that what's it in for them? What's in it for them? So you have to, uh, I mean, uh, become more empathetic to their needs. You have to speak their language and make them understand what are the values that you're going to get in this training program, so that you can make them ready to invest their time or the money in it. That's very important thing in the marketing process. They should read through the contents and they should understand this is the value, and they should be able to think about it. This is what worth investing the money and time. Tell them what problems your training could solve for them and how it will help them to do their job more efficiently. The interest of the people, interest of the prospective trainees will depend upon how the training program is to solve their their problems. What is there in the training program that's going to solve their day-to-day issues, right? That's very important thing. If the training program can solve certain things, it can help in their job in increasing the performance or solving the problem. They'll be interested in it, and people will be interested to uh, know about the training program more, and maybe they will start buying your training program. They'll be attending your training program, even they're going to spend on the training program. So the three things I've said here, which is very important. Number one, but first create awareness among the people who are busy, even if they have got certain issues, their problems, certain things they need to have in their life, but they don't know about it. They don't have time to think about it. They don't bother about it. You have to pinpoint and highlight those things in front of them, what they're missing. And if you can highlight those points what they're missing, and then you can offer some value to your training programs, the people will become interested to invest their time and money on that. And then, of course, you should be able to tell them how this training program is going to help them in solving their day-to-day problems, their work problems, work-related problems, right? How they can do better, how can perform the job better after attending this training program. This is going to help them towards that. So while promoting your training program, you should have think about these three issues which are very important. Apart from many of the issues we'll talk about, this is very, very important issue. So this will guide you to think about being empathetic, being putting yourself in the position of your the training, who are going to attend the training, how they're going to benefit, and what we are talking to them and is convincing to them to join the training program or to spend the time and money on the training program. That's very important. And remember it. And most of the time, people make an assessment of what it seems to them about the training program, but it's not actually so. It is a material for a person who is going to attend the training program. He will look from his point of view. He's not interested in your revenue or your desire or your goal. They're interested in their goal. So to see what is their goal, what is their share of their share in the cake, and you should be able to identify those and highlight those things and make them understand this is what they're going to achieve. Then, of course, you need to promote your training. We have to promote the training. How to promote the training? Reach out to the most loyal customers, your brand advocate. That's one way. One way means the people who have already attended the training program, they'll advocate about the training program. So in both the ways, whether in organization or you are conducting your own training programs, if you can give your testimonial of the previous people and how they have been benefited by this training program, that can help you in promoting that particular training program. So reach out to your most loyal customers and take a testimonial from them, propagate this thing, communicate to them to the prospective the trainees, and they'll become more interested in it. We in a traditional marketing campaign, right? So when you talk of marketing campaign, you have you have to have a combination of the different kinds of marketing campaign. You may have to start with your the traditional. That's what you're doing. You have to give a high value proposition to the people, to the target audience, because when you give a high value proposition to them, in the sense that what they're going to get out of this training program after attending these the things, that changes they're going to get in their life, that can go to their emotional level, and they must understand why they should come in for this training program, what is there in this training program for them, and that will percolate to the their emotional level. And so writing that value proposition is a very important issue. That's a very innovative thing. I mean, what strikes the psychology of the people? You should be able to write that value proposition. You know, a lot many things depends upon this. If the value proposition is very aptly written, the first time that they read that, and they'll become interested to join the training program. They'll be interested to invest the time and money on that. So that's very, you weave that campaign in such a way. Plan a promotional campaign around the training programs through various ways. Give individual attention to all these areas. Wherever is possible, you can enter into emails. If possible, today we are doing webinars, and this has become a very common thing for people, right? So this is a very common thing. You can do no webinar. You can do some blog posts, having a blog and then making blog posts. Very effective thing. Press release, if you're going to put through that. You can have social media posts, you can have podcasts, emails, webinars, blogs, press release, social media posts, podcasts, etc., and reach the audience you're trying to reach by different means. And to see every kind of people who where they're available, and accordingly you can use such and such means, the media through which you can reach them, and you can promote the training through this process. Explore some unconventional approaches also. I'm going talking about it's an innovation. If you can do something very different from others, and sometimes it clicks in such a way that we are really going to be benefited out of it. You can create a learner community where you can highlight your training program, and people will come to know about that, and they may be interested in joining the training program. You can have a training conference where you can highlight your training program, that's what you're doing, and what are the expectations they can have, what are the changes they can expect from after attending this training program, and that is really going to help them. So creating a training conference is also going to help. Gamification, some kind of games that you do, and associated um, you can also promote your training, that's what you're going to do, how they're going to benefit by this training program, how they're going to increase their skills in such kinds of games and all that, which is related to their work area. So have some unconventional approaches that is also going to benefit them. Well, something very important, that don't be afraid to create experiment. Marketing process is an experimental process. You never know that what's going to click and when. So these are all approximations, of your estimation of how the people will behave in a particular situation. What are the general tendencies and how the people behave. So you need to make certain experiments, and so maybe sometimes that by using certain methods, that's really going to click somewhere, and you're going to get a very good result. So don't be afraid to make experiment, because you cannot learn anything if you don't try anything. And the learning process is a thing in the trial and error method, and every error that you make, it's going to create a stepping stone for you to learn new things, and you can really become a better off in the future, right? And therefore, make experiments. Don't always stick to the older method, the conventional method that people are using all the time, and be satisfied with it. Let us do something new, something innovative. That's very important. Making experiments. As a marketer, you should be able to face the challenges in influencing the people decision. When you are going to meet a customer which is very stubborn, which is not going to listen to what you are going to propose to them, it becomes a challenge. And if you can challenge such people day in day out, over a period of time you'll become highly experienced to meet such people and influence such people, and you'll become a successful marketer. So you should be able to love the challenge and think it in different ways. Because ultimately you're going to deal with the human beings. What is the human psychology? Think about it, and how you can really sneak into their mind and can influence them and influence their decision making process. And that is the market you should understand. So for that you need to make various experiments and see that what clicks well for different kinds of people with different background, different characteristics. When it comes to marketing, there's no perfect formula, because you never know what's going to happen, because you have to see that person, you have to have a feel of that person, you have to see the characters of that person, you have to understand the psychology of that person, because there are many variables in that. So something at the spur of the moment may be a certain variable, and you work upon that and it works. So there is nothing which is fixed. So that's why I'm saying that you need to become innovative and you need to make an experiment. And over a period of time, that making that experimentation becomes your habit, and you can have an intuitive approach towards that. You can understand what may be the possible thing which you can do in such a situation, right? Apart from that, even the smallest of the smallest things, when you're making that experiment in the marketing process, it's very important that, for example, right, did you reach out the right day at the right time, and to the person to whom you're talking to, what time you're talking about is also important, right? The way you gave your message, does it resonate with his characteristics, his behavior, his liking? You know that when you communicate with somebody in a marketing communication or any other successful communication, we first understand the person concerned to whom we are talking to. And whatever you are talking, the must resonate to his characteristics, his behavior, what he expects from us. Did you use the right communication channel? Was that communication channel right for them, for that particular target group, or that for a particular person even? You may have to have different communication channel for different people. Did you put the right offering in front of the right audience? I mean, depending on the person which is highly, the poor person and a very rich person, you may have different kinds of offerings. You cannot have a very mediocre things offered to a person who is very rich, because he already have access to many other things. So you have to think about what offering you should give to a particular audience. What is the need, depending upon their level, their understanding, their experience, their background, their expectations, and all that. Is it the content from format that appeals to your audience? Every audience has got a different and different. They may have different appeals to the content depending upon his educational background, his financial level, his occupation, right? So you should be able to understand that what is going to really appeal to them. You cannot have the same formula, the same thing, the same presentation to everyone because some people will like it, some people may not like it, but it doesn't suit to them level. For them, something is very high, or some of them something is very low. So you need to understand the what content format that will appeal to your audience, and over a period of time, out of your experiences with different kind of target groups of people, you will be able to gather such information and intuition from that, right? And you can accordingly work upon it. Was your call to action clear? Something very, very important in a marketing columns. It's something very important that you may have talked tons of talk with people that giving lots of information to them, lots of good presentations and lots of good content, but ultimately you forgot to have your call to action. You didn't ask them to rate the real purchase. That call to action is something very important because after influencing people in that moment, you have to strike on them so that they can become they become emotionally tilted towards you and you will start making that purchase, right? That call to action is something important what they should do, that people when becomes really influenced by whatever you're talking are convinced by whatever you're talking, then you need to give a jerk to that and so that they can start taking that action which is expected from them. So that call to action is important, very, very important. Now coming to the next point. Now, when you have marketed with people, we have influenced people, the people have been now convinced that they should attend such kind of training programs. They are the people who can be nominated. Means they are interested to, because they are worth nominating. Because you would not like that in a training program, people who are joining the training program, they're all uninterested people. Why so much efforts have been done? We want people to get nominated in the training program who are interested in the training program and they are really going to add that value to the organization and to their individual life also. That's so the training program is going to really worth conducting. So now that nomination is to be done, so when you do nomination, there are certain issues that are important which you have to take care of. So the issues in nominations are, obviously it should be done in advance. You must be give enough time to the people to know that certain training program is going to happen so that they can make their arrangements accordingly. Sometimes it happens the training program is going to happen somewhere outside of their place of residence or local area. So they have to make necessary arrangements for boarding, lodging, whatever is necessary, and on their family matters also. So it has to be done in advance. So that also you can understand that how many people are interested in training programs who are going to come. Lack of awareness about the benefits of training. Well, nomination will help us because in the nomination process, you'll propagate, you will communicate certain information so the people will come to know about the training program. They'll come to know about the benefits of the training program and they'll become aware of the training program. So that awareness has to be sent to the people so that they know about before coming joining the training program. Lack of cooperation and communication with departments. Well, as I was telling you, this is the issues in nomination. Issues in nomination means when you nominate somebody, immediate question will come in their mind sometimes. As I was telling in the second point, that they may not be aware of the training program. So there's a lack of awareness. They don't know about the training program. So when you nominate them, you should be the issue is that you should be able to explain the things very well because people come to know about the training program and they should know about the benefits of the training program. Similarly, another issue is this lack of cooperation and communication with the departments. Every department Other departments like the production department, the marketing department may think that this is the work of the HR department conducting a training program, but it's not actually so. It is also relevant to them. The people who are going to be trained is of their department, and people after being trained, they're going to contribute to the performance of their department. So it relates to them. So the HR department should have a good cooperation and coordination with the other department, every department from where the people are coming to attend the training programs. So in many cases, this is an issue that there is a lack of cooperation and communication. The result is that people are not nominated. Departments are not interested to nominate people in the training program because there is a lack of cooperation, lack of understanding, lack of awareness about the program. The departmental head do not really understand the need for this training. It doesn't understand how this is going to really benefit him as his employee. The person from his department is going to be trained and is going to contribute to the betterment of this department. How we can really use it, make use of it better. There's a lack of seriousness. You have nominated some people, they're not serious about it. They don't understand the need for that training. They never have thought about the need for this training. They are going well. So there is a lack of seriousness among the employees, among the people, and the people who are training, right? Not aligned with organization goals. When a training program is sent, a nomination is sent, the people start thinking how this is going to help the organization or how this is going to help me. Alignment is not there. They're not they are not just going to attend some program which they I mean on the face of it is not going to benefit them. Until unless of course there are some people who needs to get out of their job and they always want to get out of their job and remain free and attend some training programs. But we are talking about the serious people who are really going to be interested in attending a program which is really going to benefit them or the organization. You are conducting a training program, you have made a nomination for that, but the nomination you have made, the department concerned, the departmental head, they find that such and such training program is not at all beneficial to the person concerned, to the department also, right? So if you are talking about the IT department, you are giving a training to a person in the IT department on a different area, on a legal matters. The IT department thinks why they are going to be really giving training in this area until unless you are in a position to really explain that relationship, that these matters are also going to be beneficial for them because you are going to develop some kind of thing in the area of IT related to that, they will not be interested. So that is the not aligned to the departmental need. That is one issue. You need to see it. Uninterested participants. There are participants who are not interested in attending the training program at all because they're happy with whatever they are. They don't want to disturb themselves. Training dates not aligned with departmental priorities. Yes, and that's a very common thing. Sometimes every department has got their own priorities. They are busy with certain things, and if you are nominating people from the department on certain subjects, no, they should have a coordination, communication with the department concerned. So in the finance department, you're talking about in the March end, in the year end, in the month of March, the last week of March or the last 2 3 weeks of the March or April, they may not be interested in sending people in the training program. So it depends upon the departmental priority. And while making the nomination, one has to take care of this thing. One has to take cognizance of this thing so that whatever to whomsoever they make that nomination, they should attend that meeting. So the shortage of staff. There's a very common problem that people do not have their staff in the department, and so they will not be interested to send people. Right? So it has to be communicated to them. The cooperation should be there, communication should be there, and the shortage of staff is also to be seen, looked into. Coordination with the departments. Yes, the department concerned with whom who from whom they are going to nominate the people, that has to be coordinated and understood with them, talked with them, so that they can it become really beneficial to them and they can understand it. So if you do not take care of these issues in nomination, So although you may announce a training program and then nominate people for the training program, people may not join the training program. So if really people want to join the training program, you see a look into these aspects very carefully so that your training effort becomes substantially rewarded by that people attending the training program, and you ultimately achieve that goal which you are thinking about. Right? I think this is what we wanted to talk today regarding the nomination. Only a very simple thing to do here a nomination, and simply the strategy for the marketing that you need to do, which is highly practical, and one learns about this only through the experience. I'm telling you, theoretically it's very difficult to say, but it's a most practical thing, right? So I would like that if you've got any question so far, can you please talk to me? Yeah.
Sir,
Any
can you please explain importance of nomination again?
importance of nomination? Importance of I have not talked about importance of nomination. I have talked about issues in nomination. Both the things I'll tell you.
Yes, sir, I know that issues in nomination, but I'm asking about it. Don't consider again, but just tell me the importance.
Importance of nomination. If you do not nominate people for the in the training program, how you are going to get people to participate? So you have to nominate people. Now, nomination is not such a thing which is not a very simple thing. You know, all these people think nominate means just tell some name and then people will come. No, it's not that. You have to see the training program, how that training program, who are the people. If you give training program to such people, then it is going to contribute to the organization, to the contribute to the department concerned, or contribute to the development of careers of such people. So it should must have to be substantiated by the reasons for which you're nominating people. So, so the importance of good nomination is there, but you would see that efficacy and it should be result oriented. That should really result in some kind of benefit either to the organization or to the department concerned or the individual concerned with it. So, and of course, when you say importance of nomination, yes, you have to nominate people, and that nomination important in the way. Nomination is a method by which you not only invite people, you make people aware of the training program, particular training program. You make people aware of the importance of the training program. You make people aware of the benefits of the training program. You give them the value proposition of the training program and how that is going to contribute to their career, as well as how they are going to develop their performance, which is ultimately going to benefit the organization concerned. So that is the importance of the nomination, and the issues in nomination will always be there. The various issues that I have discussed, and we have to look into these issues. We cannot turn a blind eye on this. We cannot say that department is not sending the people. We must know that what are the problems, the issues they have got. So before conducting a training program, we must have a discussion with other departments, the suitable dates and all that which suits to them, and also make them aware of the training program that is what we are going to conduct. Yes, please.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Mhm. Any other question anybody has got, please come out. No question? I understand the matter was very simple today, a very small matter, but important, very, very important, the most practical matter, I tell you. There are many people who haven't become failure because they could not market the training program. Right. On the other end, if you know how very well how to market your training program, you'll become a successful person. Right. So if you don't have any other training program, probably you have got some another class also today. So I have to wind it up here. My best wishes to you. Thank you very much. We'll see you the next time. God bless you. Take care. Bye.